Hi, I'm Gary Christenson. I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Boynton Health at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus. I'm also a psychiatrist by training, and so I know a bit about depression and about mental health, of course, in general. The first thing I think needs to recognize is that it's not unusual for people to experience episodes of depression and such. We know it's relatively common here on campus, with about a third of our students actually having been diagnosed with a mental health condition at some time in their lifetime. And we also know that being creative individuals, which we know all of you are that have made it into both at the university at any level, we know that you're already very talented, you're already very creative. We also know there's a slightly higher risk of having mental health challenges when you are a talented individual. History has definitely shown that. Sometimes, or in many cases, many of the people that have made significant contributions to society and to science in general have dealt with mental health challenges. You may remember the Boltzmann constant from your physical chemistry. Ludwig Boltzmann experienced significantly severe depressions during his lifetime, yet was able to have an impact that lasts till today. And even Isaac Newton, one of our most famous of all scientists, was very well known for his moodiness as well as some inability to actually connect to individuals as well. But again, a name that's going to stick with us forever because of his great discoveries and theories. Often people may not actually start realizing that they're in some moving into some challenges, and so I think it's useful to know some of the symptoms that can suggest that there might be depression going on. Now, the interesting thing about depression is sometimes people don't even describe themselves as being depressed when they have depression. Sometimes what the issue is they don't really feel they have emotions at all. Or they think that they should be having crying spells, and that's what depression is. But many people with depression actually don't have ability to cry or don't experience it in that way. But I would be watching for any kind of change in mood where you feel your mood is lower, for a more extended period of time. We definitely get concerned when people have had that present for 2 weeks or longer. But certainly anything earlier than that should raise some awareness about watching for that. Some other things that you want to be looking for are there things that you used to get excited about that just don't have the same kind of interest. It may be the research that you're doing, or maybe you are a reader on the side, you're reading novels, maybe you play guitar. I mean, everyone has different interests, of course. And if you've got that loss of interest, that is a suggestion that you might be developing depression. Often there's changes also in appetite and associated with that weight, and it can go both directions. Individuals can have decreased appetite, and sometimes they'll find themselves eating much more. Likewise, sleep can go both directions. Falling asleep, challenges falling asleep, particularly if you're waking up with worries, waking up earlier than you intend to, can't get back to sleep, or excessively sleeping and not being able to get up in the morning. I've certainly met students that were having trouble getting up till past noon at times, and obviously that doesn't work very well for an academic career. The other aspect that's often associated with that is a change in energy. So we know that the workload of students is heavy, but if compared to others, certainly that you're finding that they're much more tired, you're feeling that low energy, you just don't have the drive anymore, that would be another sign that depression might be the root cause of that. Often people will also start reflecting more on themselves. It's not uncommon for people to have thoughts that they're actually worthless. And I'll tell you right now, if you're here at the university, you're not worthless. You've already shown that you have talent. So that's actually a thought that's not consistent with the way things are, but that's the way depression works with our thinking. It tends to pick up all the great things in life and not the positive things. So that's something to be careful about. Watch for that negative thinking. Guilt is something that sometimes comes in as well, a variation of that. Another issue that often comes out is with decision making. You're finding that before you can make a decision, after you weighed the various evidence and things like that, now you're having a much harder time, making a decision between 2 or 3 choices. Thinking itself might be more challenging. Concentrating on your research, again, might be an example of paper that you're writing. So concentration itself is a big change. If you see a change in that, that could be a sign of depression. And then, of course, one of the more concerning things is if you start having thoughts of death more often and actually self-harm or suicide, that is usually a more severe depression, but something that we'd be very worried about. Again, we don't want to lose any of our talented students, obviously. And depression tends to trick people into having those kind of thoughts. Now, depression usually isn't characterized by any one of these many symptoms. It's usually a constellation of them. It might be 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of symptoms, but it is something to watch for. And certainly if you're seeing anyone that's coming in rather severely or a constellation of those, maybe a time to go and seek out a professional opinion. Or to even do a screening. And the website at the University of Minnesota, mentalhealth.umn.edu, does have anonymous screening there for depression and other mental health conditions such as anxiety. And I would encourage people to look at that or make an appointment either at Student Counseling Service or Boynton Health Service Mental Health Clinic. So I hope that information is helpful. We want all of our students to succeed, and we know that depression can get in the way, but we also know that we can get people back on their feet. So the most important thing is to come in and see us. We know a lot of students that have trouble take too long to do that or don't seek out help. We can help you, so we hope that you watch for those symptoms, and if you see them, come see us.